Greetings. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast. Okay, connected to a couple of different beings, trying to go into more of their personalities and how they see our world. Take it however you like. Something different than what I'm usually doing. Usually I'm doing collective consciousness. It feels like this is necessary. Yeah, normally I stay out of alien politics or something. Well, it's basically their point of view, and how they connect to our world and things like that. Let's see how long they go. So yeah, the Eternal came through. Just a little bit. I didn't go into too much detail. Martian world, Galactic Renaissance. It's basically a Martian being in Pluto. Pluto is the planet. And yeah, I forgot about this. Forgot about one little detail I'm going to go into. And this has been coming up. Got that wrong. Yeah, this subject matter has been coming up here and there. And I don't really want to look at this guy, but just a little. I wanted this a long time ago. It's been a moment. Because I'm not prepared entirely. All right, it's time to talk to come. We have private sessions. We have a scheduler. We have a shop. Then we have Spirit Social, same situation I'm on. I think I'm on the 14th. Same situation here. We have the webinar. Social network behind the scenes. Okay, I just want to make sure I go to the right place. Yeah, we're not going to spend much time on this one. So we got. I guess that worked. Okay, Bill Gates. So this is from some time back. So yeah, Orion Energies. Also, Carrion race. Carrions are a bird, half human, half bird. But this is what a carrion looks like. Just think of it as carrion as a bald eagle, but humanoid. And they're connected to other, the cockatoo they're connected to. It's not just the bald eagle. It's all a bunch of different. The hawk. I think the vulture also. But when you look at this bird and you look at Bill Gates, there's some, I know it's not super, he kind of has like that hook kind of nose, sort of. Like a bird nose. Either way, that's the vibration. That's the energy that came out. I mean, look at these guys. Like, do you want to mess with this guy? I mean, these guys you don't mess with them at all. And they've had some like cartoons where I caught it, like I wasn't looking for it, of like something with Superman where there's like a bird race that took over Metropolis, and they were not playing. They were playing pretty hardcore. So yeah. If you want to get your information, just watch a cartoon show, and you'll be probably more educated than watch cartoons, and you'll be more educated than the Harvard grads. Well, they'll be manipulating reality. You'll be unmanipulating it. Yeah, that's what they're trained to do. And it pays well from what it looks like. So, created Facebook. Facebook's going through some. I guess Facebook is not. I guess it's having some scandals recently. I guess it's not paying the piper enough. Not paying people off, and not enough payoffs to keep it out of all this. So it must have did something wrong, or just sad it got caught as usual. So anyway, enough about that. So we go into internal, the Martian, and Pluto channeling, and we'll just see where all this interesting. I felt a healing energy from Pluto just as I was connecting to it. So, healing the healing properties of it. Yeah, I can feel that. The healing energies from Pluto, because it's connected to our solar system. I mean, of course, it changed forms. It was a planet at one time, at least that's a feeling I get. And it shifted its energies, but it's still, it's like stardust. But either way, it's healing our solar system. So take it however you like. Of course, all the other planets are involved too. Pluto's playing a big role also. So timeline change December. I don't think anything too drastic, but if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen in December. November feels like a light month, quiet month. Well, other than government manipulation, other than just manufactured crises, which we're pretty much going through right now. I guess I taught that in Harvard. Well, maybe they did. It seems like they have with some kind of version of it. So, yeah. How to mind control society. I wonder if they have actually a class like that. I guess it's called the media, like the media course. Yeah. MK Ultra, the starter version of it, or the beginners. Was it beginner's guide? Yeah. So okay, all right. Enough about that. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings. Greetings, I am the Eternal. From Sirius, I also have connections with the Pleiades. So, yes, I'm connected to a galactic, ship that's around your Earth at this time. Yes, our education compared to your planet. Well, our education is to stay out of your politics. There are certain beings that are taught to understand your politics and how to not get manipulated by it. Those that do get manipulated by it sometimes incarnate here on your world. Either they're trying to break free of it or they get pulled into your matrix realm. Yeah, so let that sit with you for a little while. Well, because your vibrations, yes, are very intense. Well, some they find a darkness within themselves. Now, what's interesting nothing's ever 100% as an alien being. Who is your friend can easily turn into your foe. But you can see that, it can turn it into your enemy. We already usually get an idea of it in the beginning, but we don't know how it's going to happen. Why we bring this up is like when we become very connected to your world, it brings darkness out of certain beings. Not all, but some. And either they get pulled into Earth's matrix and just become a regular human and just go by the mind control, or they realize they get pulled into your reality. Or others help the manipulation. Literally work with the elites. It's like a cop going bad. And it happens all the time. Well, not all the time, but it happens frequently. Well, it all depends on how deep you go with this Earth. As alien beings, we got like our version of the CIA, but it's galactic, where we go undercover. And yes, we become more part of your society. We influence it greatly. And it can get kind of tricky. So, a lot of alien beings are still going through traumas helping your world. And others that those that cause manipulations on your planet, not all of them, but quite a few of them are still stuck on your world. Literally stuck. Well, because they cause all these manipulations, they thought they can get away with it. That's not always the case. It all depends on how you go about it. Now, some say that reptilian beings don't have karma. Well, those are the ones, what I can see, those are the ones that are, kind of imprisoned here also. Now, some do go through a version of karma uh, because they feel bad at what they're doing. So you have a 9 to 5 job, well, so do they. Not exactly. But they're a tool to keep your world at a low frequency level. But some of you find a way. It's like some of you go into an awakening state, like further than just your average knowledge, but you want to like break free. But then you get zapped. You get tired, you get cranky, and there are many energy vortexes around nature. So yes, if you open up like a resort, you're here to help the world. Well, obviously you have a target there. Now, that's not always the case. You can't keep those places healed, but it's not always the easiest because there's always a way of tearing it apart. Well, you're in the early stages of galactic connections on a physical level. Yes, where you tie in your energies to alien beings and you feel their vibrations and you interconnect. Now, it doesn't seem like it's time just yet for that. I mean, it's happening on an astral level, yes, but not on the full level as many of you like it to. Basically, ships just landing and yes, you all having coffee at the end of the day. Talk about your day. Get on their ship and go to another planet. But realize many of you already do that astrally. You just don't remember anything. But that will change. Now, the change, how soon it'll happen is another story. Well, basically, the idea for astral to become more friendly here. Now, obviously, there's a darker side to it, where the archon beings work and the beings that manipulate your reality. So these, your astral realm is how your world is, your reality is basically created. It's an energy source. It's like an energy grid. It's like a power grid. And of course, many of you go there to tamper with it, live within it. Well, it's not that it's all of astral, but it's a good portion of it. Yes, you can see it. Astral realm connected to their source gives your world life. Obviously, somebody disagree with that. They have different ways of looking at it, but yeah, when you go into the sleep state, it's like for some, it's like you're going to work. It's like this is just a warm up to your job in astral. Astral is where it's really happening. You're just unlocking this planet from the physical restraints. You can still be physical here. It's the idea you come here is to remove the manipulations, which is not easy. And you kind of have to softball it without getting absorbed into it, without being taken over. So you got to go about it slowly, as some of you probably feel those vibrations. It's not something you do quickly. Yeah, yes, it drives many insane. Well, because you see the politics on your world, which most of those beings come from another planet. And yes, a lot of your news organizations are in politicians. A lot of your news is projections from other planets, meaning it's like it's created somewhere else. It's like a holographic program. Yes, those people are here physically, but you can also program a reality like yours. Still have humans here physically, but you're programming those people. And it's basically, yes, it gets a little bit strange there, doesn't it? It's like, yes, what's manipulating your media comes from another planet. And yes, you're using your news presenters as public puppets. And there is holographic type of technologies that they use, well, to program. Yes, it's like overlay your news presenters with what they want. So they have like they create an avatar of your news presenter and how it's going to talk and think, and they can put it over a person and program them. That's a little bit out there, isn't it? Or is it? This is all coming from somewhere. And yes, as those people are living a normal life and all that, which is fine, but there is another layer to it. Blessings to you all from Sirius. Sending you downloads from the Astro Realms. Blessings. Greetings to you. I am the Martian. I realize this, yes, channeler, yes, actually brings a lot of diplomatic energies here, but you don't always see it that way. So, of course, it's going to come through a collective because they don't always want to identify themselves. What for? I mean, they can, but why? Why? It's not like you're going to have dinner with them, or I guess you can astrally, yes, but it's not always necessary to go into names and addresses and all these things. But the Martian energies, yes, Mars, you can say, split apart, split itself open through failure, through its own arrogance. But it was also a renaissance for your world, meaning what we learned. It's kind of like we had to almost destroy ourselves for your world to prosper. We brought a lot of our masculine energies here. Of course, had to come from somewhere. Of course, you get a lot of Venus feminine, and you're mixing them both together. So Venus and Mars is, you could say, created before your planet. At least from our history, yes. But we were just ingredients for your world. We had to go through what we need to go through between each other. Just destroy each other, learn from each other, however you want to look at it. And then once we learned what we needed to, we brought our knowledge to your world. So this is kind of a renaissance, maybe not as you would see it. Of course, yes, you have a lot of government corruption. Well, the government corruption is for those that are weak. They're trying to prey on the weak to steer timelines to, yes, self-destruction of the planet, which it won't be. They're always trying to take over this world or ruin it in some form. They're always working on it. It's like it's like a bad movie. It's always just trying to, humans just want us to wipe the place out. Nothing we can do about it. It's not our fault they want us to take over everything. Won't blame us. They say, here's a cookie, we take all of them. We take everything. At least those are the ones that are manipulating your reality. Yes, there is a lot of Martian energies here for manipulation. Also Martian reptilian beings, and Martian Anunnaki beings, and so on. Mars is a great experiment, and your world is a great experiment. It's always an evolution. Mars and Venus need each other, and it's combined with your world. Question is, what is your world connected to? It is very much connected to the sun. So you say your Earth is going into the sun, not necessarily physically, but you're going into the higher frequencies of the sun's energy, where you go into this new age and new world when the time is right. So there's a lot of deciphering of the sun. Notice the sun is all through mythology in some form for a reason, because that's where all the knowledge is. It's just kind of tampered itself down. You don't get the frequencies you used to from it. That's why so many are forgetting this. They're doing the chemtrail energies, obviously, So you can't get to your powers as you once did, but that's going to change eventually. Well, it's what we see with humanity. Many are going to get bored with the physical realms. Like they'll snap into this whole spiritual development stage. It's like, what? First off, what is all this? Well, some are ready. Actually, your average human is actually some of them, not all of them, a good portion, are ready to go a little bit deeper than just the high frequency messages and open up your chakras or figure yourself out, your meaning. Others are really to, as they go into their awakening, they know there's something more. They always knew that. They just didn't know where to look. It was the time for it, and so on. Well, you can thank also your pyramids for amnesia. Well, now they could have been removed from the world. Possibly your world would go to higher frequencies. It's hard to say at this point. I mean, basically, the pyramids in Giza and all the other pyramids in Mexico and so forth, they're pretty much part of the world now. It's like a mountain. It's like it's just part of its Earth's DNA. That's why they're still there, protected. They're needed. And yes, it has the pyramids, the building blocks of society. You have the elite at the top, but you're warring through those levels. So that's another reason why you've been seeing. I imagine some of you have seen the conspiracies about the pyramid systems on your dollar bill, because you're currently going through that pyramid system. And eventually, when you can say when you win, your pyramids will be reactivated. They can even change form, and your Earth becomes more higher frequency. So some of you are, yes, at the 12th grade level. That's what I was trying to say in that. But realizing that college here is a lot more harder than you thought. Of course, many of you incarnate here all the time, but it doesn't mean you always pass with flying colors being here. A lot of souls fail. Then you have to reincarnate again. And it goes on and on. A lot of times your lifetimes are different movements. You have the first lifetime, or second, the third, the fourth, and they're all interconnected in some forms. Like you're telling a story, you could say. As some of you already know, but we're just bringing that up again in case you forgot or chose to forget. Blessings. Greetings to you. I am from Pluto. Our energies are about rehabilitation. Yes, just to help you become a little bit younger. And some are feeling as they're a lot younger than they've ever been. And they're getting old. But you are getting assistance, of course, from the higher realms for you to be. It's like sometimes you have to see the world from a child's point of view, and sometimes you have to be adult to do it. So you get more playful, and some of you get older, or you just don't care anymore by the whole system. But you also, of course, have that serious time that's necessary, meaning to be serious. It's the serious person. A lot of times that has a purpose. Not always. Some just like being serious, like being stuck in the mud. But others, well, another thing about first of all, being a serious person. Hope I don't bore you with this. Is like, there's enough goofing around. So when a person's being super serious, they might joke around here and there, but they're actually in a form of study, especially when they're alone. Like they don't really have anybody around them. They're actually studying a great deal. Now, what that is won't be disclosed to them. So you're living your life, doing your thing, and you might not have the most greatest social life or none at all. But I believe you've heard of this story, but you are working on yourself. But you'd be surprised, astrally, you have all these textbooks you're trying to figure out in the higher realms. Yes, and the energy of the astral realm is really your real life. Yes, and this is just a world that lost its way. And yes, this is the, you can call it a game, you can call it a project. It's basically you come from the astral realms, spirit realms, to see what can you contribute to open doorways here for others to heal the amnesia. Because it's like every time a person awakens from amnesia, others get deeper into it. And you might know it. Sometimes parents can do that. Sometimes friends become more third dimensional. It all depends. There's just a lot of layers there that have not been fully discovered as of yet. Even as we speak, we feel like even our mind got kind of erased by going through some of that. I guess we're telling a little bit too much. Well, we do see humans becoming more allowing this strange realm to make more sense. Eventually, as the strangeness cannot be ignored. Yes, there's a movie there and so forth. Of course, there. It's just that there's a movie there that nobody wants to tell right just yet. It might freak some people out. Some of you individually, yes, have a large story, a large canvas to tell. You might not look at that way, but well, some do. They know they have a lot to say, but they don't know what to say it to. Even if they write a book, or it just doesn't make sense. But some of that energy is going into the mainstream. Now, is it going to help others in your lifetime or another lifetime? A lot of times it's help others when you're not even here anymore. You'd be surprised how much of that's going to occur. Like after you leave, it's like, well, what you left here is finally being discovered. Now, you don't have to have paper written on it. You don't have to have a movie, or it's just your energy field being here. So you leave your energy signature here, and you're like, yes, it's like you're writing a play or a research paper or whatever it might be, just with your energy, your thoughts. The energy is being planted here. So you leave here physically, your vibration, your knowledge here that you want to leave here will be here. It will be discovered through either another person when the time is right. So you say you bring in some kind of Akashic knowledge here. It's just, and there's weather anomalies in astral, basically. You can say technically all of your kind of weather energies, power plants, whatever word you want to use, a library. Yeah, you're all a library. But it's in the spirit realm, but it is, you are here physically, so you're implanting it here. It all depends on your intentions of how you're doing it. If you're doing it for just love of everything, that's the energy is there. If you're doing it selfish, the energy is there. It's like, wow, I'm connected to all this Akashic knowledge, and all I feel is somebody's ego. Okay, we'll heal the ego and see what else is there. Well, basically, many of you are helping humanity with a download, as you call it. So you come here to bring downloads here, but you're not finished yet after you leave, meaning on a spiritual level. You help if you're not helping it through your own current life. It was not always meant for everyone right now, as you can tell. That would change. Blessings.